Say what? Is it working?
Athens prep will bring the ball in to start the second half.
All right, we're about to take the second half. Athens prep inbounds the ball. And they're in a weave early on. Tough attempt there by Keyshawn Davidson.
What's up? Need help, Felix? Our hands. Help, help, help. Mercy. Yeah. Whoa. Good deep, Felix.
Minnesota prep basketball.
Jordan.
As the refs will attend to some moisture on the floor. Not on. Well, I was on. Cleaned up by Patterson. Davidson off the screen. Step back. Looking to pass. Christian Jackson back up to Davidson. who will corral the offense. Sets something up here.
9, 8, 7, 6,
Jackson,
4,
Davidson.
3, 2,
Davidson gets it up on the glass, and it goes. That was late in the shot clock there. So good awareness by Davidson of getting a shot up onto the rim, and it falls.
detours.
Patterson for 3, and he's going to be fouled, and he's going to have 3 shots at the line.
Foul is on number 3. Iris Bainham at the line.
Bainham, or excuse me, the foul was on Bainham. Or no, it was not. I was listening to the PA guy, sorry. Patterson at the line is good on the first. Lukai is a coach's son. Coach Lucas Patterson from Minnesota Prep. They respond to him now. He's been screaming out orders the entire game, and his players react to him, and that's when you know you've got a good coach, is when the players will react to the defenses that you call, to the offensive plays that you call. That's preparation. Davidson hands it off, and they'll start the weave again. Davidson to the right, to the rim. Nice for the easy dunk. That's great penetration. It's great guard play by Davidson to set his big man up for an easy layup. The highest percentage shot in basketball, the dunk. Let's see what type of set that Patterson starts here. Patterson to the corner for Grant again, and this one is good.
30-27, Minnesota Prep on top. Jawan Grant called for his second foul. That's the first team foul of the second half on Minnesota Prep.
Jackson to the rim, very nice.
Goog.
Who's number 4?
Schwinn. .39 left to go here in the contest. And our score is Minnesota Prep 30, Athens Prep 27.
I'll give the coaches credit in this game, Leroy. We've seen a lot of sets here. A lot of times, you know, in this type of event, you know, you kind of just see guys just go and they just play because they're so talented. They don't have to have, you know, sets drawn up for them or plays. But both coaches have been calling out sets for their guys. They've been running them, executing the offense.
And Lukai Patterson back to the free throw line. Makes the first.
And if you're Lukai Patterson, you better be able to execute an offense if your dad's the head coach.
That's right.
So he'll be in trouble not only here but at home if he doesn't get it right on the floor. But he does a good job. He's a solid guard.
And Luke Patterson is hard on his son Lukai. He is very, very hard on him. But, you know, that's to be expected.
Yeah.
Avishai Lowry comes into the contest for Athens Prep, replacing Antonio Batiste. And Lukai Patterson makes the second after the lane violation gives him a third opportunity.
So now we're in a full court trap here from Minnesota Prep.
But Athens handles it so well, passes it so well that it didn't even look like there was any pressure hardly.
Yeah, it wasn't a problem for them. They get what they want out of it, a foul at the rim.
Mon Decker commits that foul, his second, team second. Tyrus Bainham will go to the line, and he will shoot a pair. Misses the first. Bainham makes the second.
One stop right here. Talk to him. Come on, Abby. Come on. Come on the left side.
Lukai all by himself.
Abby. What do you tell you? What's your hand?
A foul on Tyrus Bainham. His second, team third. Richard Decker to the free throw line for Minnesota Prep. And he misses the first.
Oh, that one slipped off his fingers there.
Yep. Bainham drives off the window, no good, but he's fouled.
They're having trouble with Bainham's quickness there. He's getting into the lane. He's getting to the spots that he wants.
And anytime you're in the middle of the defense and you're getting where you want, when you want, that is a bad problem for the defensive side of the ball. And Bainham makes the first. Bainham makes both. And the lead is 2, 32-30, Minnesota Prep.
Take it away, Abby. Take it away, Abby. Take it away. Take it away. Take it away. Good help, Jordan. Good rebound. Let's go, CJ.
Shot no good. Strong rebound. Pulled down by Christian Jackson.
And that was just Sprinkles and Bainham just one-on-one there, and Sprinkles couldn't convert.
.14 seconds left on the shot clock. Athens Prep, they get it into Christian Jackson. He drives, kicks it back out to Jordan Schwente. Schwente being swarmed by Richard Edwards. They get it over to Christian Jackson, back to Schwente. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Shot up, no good. Richard Edwards picks up the rebound and the loose ball. Adrian Sprinkles to Amon Decker. What's the call going to be?
Yeah, it was an easy call, charge.
Offensive. That is Decker's third and team's fourth. Keyshawn Davison dribble handoff to Evershaw Lowry. Stolen away. Richard Edwards. Nice pass to Sprinkles. Sprinkles has his shot blocked by Isaac Spears. Gets the offensive rebound up and in. Adrian Sprinkles. And that shot blocked out of bounds by James Flippin for Minnesota Prep. Athens Prep will retain possession. Up and in, Isaac Spears.
Nice shot by Spears over the big.
Yes.
It's a tough angle, you know. Anytime you got to throw that ball up high off the glass, that just makes that shot that much harder. It's a lot more distance that the ball has to travel.
Into the front court, Lukai Patterson. Into the lane. Drops it off to Richard Edwards. Basket good.
Another nice lay in there by Edwards. A lot of
And
arms down there, a lot of traffic, you know,
Yep.
so those are very difficult shots.
Offensive pace has picked up considerably here in the second half. But both these teams are just physical and scrappy. Anything you get on either of these teams, you've got to earn. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch there by Avishal Lowry. And we've got a foul. That foul committed by Keyshawn Davidson of Athens. That is his third, team fourth.
Watch the steal, Tyrus. Go help, Abby.
Lukai Patterson being guarded by Avishal Lowry. Over to Jawan Grant.
Hey there, Jordan.
Back to Patterson. He spins, goes baseline. It's good.
Very nice take. Coach Patterson, he likes his son in the post. He likes to put him in the post. You know, he's got the thick frame so he can absorb any kind of contact, and he dishes it out. So very strong going to the rim, and he's tough to deal with for any small guard.
And let's face it, he's got some junk in the trunk that helps you back down. It does.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's like
I've played against guys like that, and, you know, it's really hard when you're behind him trying to stop him from moving forward.
Well, yeah, and you can tell, you know, he's got very strong legs. I mean, like I
Yep.
said, he's got a really thick frame. And he knows how to use it.
And, in fact, I would try to post him up even more, I think, than they do.
Well, that was
Trey ball is good. Christian Jackson.
it was a set that Patterson called from the sideline, was to get his son there on the block.
Richard Edwards attacks the rim. He is fouled there by Jordan Schwente. That is Schwente's second, team fifth. Richard Edwards will go to the line and shoot a pair for Minnesota Prep. And he is 1 for 3 from the line in the second half. I actually thought that one wasn't going to make it for a second, but he got the shooter's roll. And he missed that one. Rebound pulled down by Tyrus Bainham. Keyshawn Davidson being guarded by Jawan Grant. Oh, nice drive, Avishal Lowry. So Athens Prep once again cuts their deficit to 2, 39-37. It was a 2-point game at the half.
No reaching. You solid. Stay solid.
James flipping for 3, no good. Richard Edwards skies for the offensive rebound. They reset. Jawan Grant, 3 ball, no good. Adrian Sprinkles fighting for the loose ball on the weak side, and he knocks it out of bounds. Athens Prep takes it over with 8:40 to go in the contest. They could tie it up or even take their first lead of the second half on this possession. Jawan Grant with a near steal. Cannot keep it in bounds. And Grant is guarding Keyshawn Davidson right in front of the announcer's booth. Davidson, long tray, it's good.
Nice job by Davidson there to avoid the. You've seen a lot of the reach around steals
Yes.
today, you know, from behind, and what the counter move to that is to cross over, get the ball into your other hand. He did a great job getting it to his other hand and setting himself up for the shot.
Go back, Jordan.
Athens again looks like they're in some type of matchup zone.
Adrian Sprinkles. Richard Edwards with the offensive rebound. And here comes Keyshawn Davidson the other way into the lane, hop step. It's good, and he's fouled.
Great job by Davidson of recognizing early. You could tell he recognized around half court, okay, I'm taking this to the basket. He saw the numbers, he saw the space that he needed, and he saw the driving lane to get there.
So Davidson with 9.5 points. He'll go to the free throw line and try to make it 10. But we'll take timeout on the floor. 7 minutes, 47 seconds left to go in the game. Our score is Athens Prep in the lead, 42-39 over Prep.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Keyshawn Davidson for the and one.
Davidson no good. And now Minnesota Prep will bring it to the front court, and that's Tahir, who will handle the point guard duties. Tahir back to the top to Patterson. Patterson gets the screen. Doesn't want it, he goes right, and he gets all the way to the rim and gets fouled. And that was Lowry with the foul.
And, you know, that was Lukai Patterson doing what he does best, getting into the paint and creating an offensive opportunity for himself.
Well, it puts the defender in such a bad spot there. You know the screen's coming, you feel it on your side, you feel the contact, and then Patterson does the smart thing. He doesn't even use the screen now and takes the advantage that he got from the right side all the way to the rim.
(42-40). 42-41, Tennessee Prep now down by 1. Keyshawn Davidson, he tries to get it.
I think he was going to Jackson
Jordan
there, but I think it was Schwinte that
intercepted.
accidentally, yeah. I'm not sure that it was really going to Schwinte. I think it was going to the top of the key.
Richard Edwards makes them pay with the layup on the other end, and Minnesota Prep back on top, 43-42. 6:50 left in the game. That shot blocked by James Flippin, offensive rebound by Felix Gu, and that shot blocked by Richard Edwards.
Edwards with a nice play there.
Lukai Patterson in the lane.
Well, Patterson, that's where he excels. You know, he really excels getting to the rim, but he's got great touch once he gets around the rim, and that's where he's really succeeded today.
12 second half points and 16 points overall for Lukai Patterson. That ball zips out of bounds. Belongs to Minnesota Prep. And we've got a 30-second timeout on the floor. Minnesota Prep back on top, 45-42. And, you know, I think this is what we can expect, Cullen. I think it's just going to be a back and forth game until the final buzzer.
Yeah, you know, the talent level is equal out here. And so, again, basketball is a game of runs. It's whoever gets that run at the right time. We're down the stretch here with 6:15 to go. So let's see who can close out this game and finish the game with the best run.
And Coach Tyler Safiantino is telling his guys, let's get pressure on the rim.
Well,
he doesn't necessarily
what he's telling them is whoever's setting the screen to roll
Right.
to the basket, because he's not getting, you know, you might not catch that, but you cause the defense to react, and that opens up other driving lanes, opens up corner threes. The guy's got to roll to keep the defense honest.
And, you know, we see that a lot. A guy will set the pick, but then he doesn't roll. He just kind of stands around up
Kind of
top.
defeats the purpose.
Exactly. It clogs up your offense. Stolen by Lukai Patterson. He was calling for timeout, but we got a held ball. We got a held ball. As soon as he grabbed the ball, I could hear him saying timeout, timeout, but the refs didn't hear it. They gave the possession. The possession still goes to Minnesota Prep regardless because they own the arrow. I just like it, Cullen, when a player is aware enough to sit there and call for the timeout, whether he gets it or not. It shows his head is in the game.
And that's just preparation. I mean, that's all it is, you know. I mean, you're on the fly when you're in a sporting event. You're on the fly, and that's a great
Richard
follow.
Edwards with the offensive rebound and stick back. Foul on Jordan Schwente, his third, team 7th. Cullen, how about Richard Edwards?
Oh, he's
That's
played
sheer
great.
athleticism.
Yeah, he's played great this second half. And, you know, you say that, he's kind of deceiving, you know what I mean? Like, you don't see much of a high flyer in him when you're watching him play. But here a couple times this half, he's bounced up there to the rim, and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? But shows his capability.
47-42.
There's the roll.
And Felix Gu, no good. Keyshawn Davidson with the offensive rebound. He'll bring it out and reset.
Yeah, but, you know, and more times than none.
Oh, Rudy Tahir gets away with the grab.
He
reached his arm all the way around the waist of, I can't remember, I didn't see who that was. James Flippin finishes in transition.
Great anticipation there by Grant, though, to get in the passing lane. Made a great play and started that break.
This is the largest lead of the contest so far for Minnesota Prep. 7 points, 49-42.
Well,
underscores how tight the game has been.
Yeah, Minnesota Prep's on their run. You know what I mean? And so now they have to sustain that. There's a lot of time left, and Athens will look to get on a run of their own.
And if you're Athens Prep right now, you just have to survive the body shot, get up, and deliver one of your own.
Well, I even heard the coach say that in the huddle. You got to hit him in the mouth.
Ball last touched by Minnesota Prep.
They're playing with more confidence right now. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. They've gone on a run here, and they're feeling confident. They're executing.
The ball thrown away. Christian Jackson got up in the air, didn't have anywhere to go. Minnesota Prep, Rudy Tahir, shot no good. Goes out of bounds and will belong to Athens Prep.
I'll tell you what, Jawan Grant, to use a football term here, he's got excellent recovery speed.
Yes.
And, you know, it's not necessarily that he's recovering, but, man, he gets in those passing lanes, and he covers a lot of ground very quickly. It makes it very difficult to pass around him.
And I think Coach Tyler Sofiantino realizes his guys just dodged a bullet there. If that 3 goes in and you're down 10, that's a crushing feeling. So he's going to call time. They're going to talk about it and see if they can gather themselves. 4:21 left to go in the contest. Our score, 49-42, Minnesota Prep on top. We will take a break from the Big Baller Beatdown. This is a grind session event brought to you by Tanager Sports, and we will be back in a moment.
Lowry handles the point, but now it's going to be a jump ball. I know, actually. Or I take that back. It was a timeout. So Bainham with the heads-up play to call a timeout. He knew it was going to be a jump ball, which would have stayed with Athens Prep, actually. So if he would have known that, I'm not sure that he would have made that call, but he does keep possession. So with 4:11 left, and I think we're at a full timeout again, we will be back after this full timeout. It's a grind session event on Tanager Sports. Inbound, steal off the inbounds by Tahir. Catches Grant coming down the lane, and Grant draws the foul, and he'll go for two. 49-42, 4:08 on the clock. Juwan Grant will be at the line for two. The first one is good for Grant, which is his 6th point of the game. And he extends the lead to 9. So Grant now full court. Lowry off the screen. And Goo goes back down to the block. Lowry to Davidson. And now Davidson uses the screen from Goo. Goo. Davidson is going to draw the foul.
Foul on James Flippin for Minnesota Prep. That's his 3rd, team 7th. But Cullen, you just kind of get the feeling this game is starting to slip away from Athens Prep. They've got to have something good happen for them to turn the tide.
Well, yeah, they've allowed this run for Minnesota Prep to last too long.
Yes.
And they haven't really answered back. And so they still got plenty of time with 3:46 on the clock, but the time is now. It's time to be more efficient on the offensive end, get better looks, execute on offense. And, of course, got to get stops.
They almost look like they're a little rattled to me. And, I'm not sure why Minnesota Prep isn't that flashy kind of team that'll just beat you into submission, but Athens just looks a little rattled.
I think that always comes down to confidence. And, I'm not saying that the guys don't have confidence, but when things start, going one team's way and that momentum is just so lopsided, now those shots that you were taking earlier in the game, you're not so sure about. You may not trust yourself as well because you're behind. That makes those shots more difficult. And so I think that's what we've seen here. It's just been a tale of confidence, and Minnesota Prep's really played confident here in the second half to build this lead.
Davidson misses the second. James Flippin pulls down the rebound. Juwan Grant into the front court. Grant to Flippin. Three-pointer, no good.
Flippin wanted the contact there. He wanted the foul.
Tyrus Bainham, it's good.
It's a great take by Bainham, and if you're flipping there, if you're gonna foul, go ahead and make it a good foul.
Make sure that he doesn't get a shot on the rim.
There, he didn't put much resistance there. And if you foul, it doesn't matter if it's just a little ticky-tack slap or whatever, they're gonna call it. So you might as well make it count, and he didn't there, and so that's why that Bainham was able to convert.
And this is the exact kind of thing Athens Prep needs to have go their way. They get the tough finish, and they didn't get the three-point play. Offensive rebound, Keyshawn Davidson, but it's stolen by Richard Edwards. What a heady play by Edwards, who has been really solid here in the second half.
And Davidson probably wishes he could have that one back. Yeah, got out of
I know he does.
And there's Patterson again.
Lukai Patterson. He's got 14 in the second half, 18 on the game. And And in the basket, Christian Jackson, no good. Keyshawn Davidson with a gorgeous reverse layup.
Yeah, great English on that. I mean, the ball, I didn't think he had the angle, actually.
I didn't either.
But he still put the correct English off the backboard to get that one to go.
Lukai Patterson grinding out that bucket.
And I mentioned his touch earlier. You know, once he's gotten around to that 3 to 4, 5 foot range, he hasn't missed. He's had that touch. He's gotten the friendly roll, but that's a shooter's roll. Good steal by Grant.
Stolen,
Wow.
Jawan Grant.
That's a smart foul.
Very smart. You took the words right out of my mouth. Brilliant foul by Tyrus Bainham. That is his third, team 9th. So Bainham prevents the breakaway. He will put Jawan Grant on the line and make him earn it. And that was announced as a 2, and yes, it is. That was the 10th team foul on Athens. So with 2:16 left to go in the contest, Minnesota Prep in the double bonus. Grant makes both. 57-47, Minnesota Prep leads it by 10, their largest lead of the contest. That shot no good. Christian Jackson rebound, Amon Decker.
Sprinkles. Thought he was going to try to draw a foul there.
Jawan Grant shot no good. Rebound, Felix Gu. Keyshawn Davidson, baseline jumper, no good. Jawan Grant picks up the long rebound. Lukai Patterson lobs it. Whoa, Adrian Sprinkles can't finish, but Lukai Patterson with an offensive rebound in traffic. Chicken wing, the referee called. I haven't heard that call in a long time. But translation, folks, offensive foul. He wrapped him with the off arm, which is often called the chicken wing. And everybody on the table calling and saying the same thing. It's been a while since they've heard a ref call the chicken wing.
I was going to say, it sounds good to eat right now. Is what I was gonna
It
say.
really does. It really does. Speaking of eat, that's an interesting segue. I had some Larry Darrell and Darrell brisket sandwich. It was very good. The ribs are probably there by now. I really wanted some ribs.
I smell something. It smells just like ribs.
That's probably the Larry Darrell and Darrell ribs.
Look at the physicality these guys are playing with right now. Not getting any calls. Jeez.
What a pass from Keyshawn Davidson. Oh, my goodness, to Evershaw Lowry. He threaded the needle with that one. Cuts their deficit to 8 with 46 seconds left to go. Stolen away by Evershaw Lowry. Lowry to Christian Jackson. Jackson loses it.
And that's what I mean. I mean, they convert that bucket and now just say foul and get a miss. I mean, that was a big-time, opportunity there to cut that to 6 to a 2-possession game.
And Christian Jackson knows it. You can just see it in his eyes. He knows he blew an opportunity there. 35 seconds to go. 30-second timeout called by Tyler Sofiantino and Athens Prep. So if you're Athens, Cullen, I would imagine you've got a foul right away as soon as they come out of this.
It's always more difficult in a double bonus. Obviously, because they have 2 shots, but I mean.
Right, but you've got to stop the clock. It's just all there is to it. .1 seconds left in the contest. Basketball will belong to Minnesota Prep on the baseline, on their own baseline. Lukai Patterson And Tyrus Bainham has not fouled him yet. I am shocked, Cullen.
Well, they're just going to play it out. And he's fouled him, trust me, but they just
Yeah.
calling it.
But, you know, there are fouls where you know you're going to get called for it, and then there are fouls where you're really actually trying to create something. Amon Decker. Two-hand dunk. That kind of puts the exclamation point on it. Tray ball is good. Christian Jackson. And that will do it. So our final score, Minnesota Prep 59, Athens Prep 52. And so Lukai Patterson is chosen as player of the game. So we'll bring him in and we'll conduct an interview with Lukai. All right, so we are courtside with our player of the game, Lukai Patterson, who scored 18 second-half points on the way to 22. First of all, congratulations, Lukai, on a very physical victory. Talk a little bit about being a coach's son and the unique pressures that you find, and particularly you got the ball in your hands. You're the point guard.
I mean, it's a lot of pressure. I mean, not really. Actually, it's not really a lot of much pressure, but, you know, being the coach's son, everybody, he just playing because he's the coach's son, so I got to really prove myself when I'm out there and show who I am every day, every time I step on that court.
And Minnesota Prep is known as a physical basketball team. You play a lot of physical defense. You play a lot of full court. And that's a really tough way of playing. Talk about the kind of energy and physicality that requires from you guys to play like that.
I mean, we got to prepare ourselves before every game, man. I mean, we're not bigger than anybody. So, I mean, we got to have them little gnats, and, you know, we got to be in people's jerseys. We got to do the little extra stuff to win games and pull them out since we're not as big.
So, good win for you guys today. You'll get a chance to get a little rest, and you'll come back here tomorrow. Lukai Patterson, thanks a lot for coming by. Congratulations again on the win and on player of the game.
Yep.
All right, so we will get ready for our next game, 1 o'clock, Hillcrest Prep North versus St. Louis Christian. We hope you are enjoying the 2019 Big Baller Beatdown live from Marshall County High School in Benton, Kentucky. We'll be right back.
Yes.